this space. For any child's growth, academic learning is just one aspect. Having mud on your shoes in the fresh air with a team by your side is just as important a learning. And bringing sports and athletics to students where it matters is the organization Khel Khel Mein. Thirteen-year-old Priya lives in Delhi's Brahmapuri and studies in Gandhi Memorial School, a low-income private school. For her, sports were never really a part of her life.
In the beginning, I doesn't like sports because I always fall. And my friends always were like, please Priya, come now, we will miss you and all that. But I don't want to come.
From not being involved in any sport to loving Khel Khel and wanting to learn football, Priya has come a long way. And she attributes this change to one particular startup.
Because of KKM started playing, because before that in our school there was no sports, and usually also when we go for any sports period or anything, I have never gone.
She says her parents have now started encouraging her to go and play sports, which is a new change in mindset for them. And this was not the only change that she experienced.
We have built connections in between. In fact, I have never talked to our juniors, and in KKM I get to know them actually how they are.
Priya is one of many students who has had sports introduced in her life by Khel Khel Mein or KKM, a non-profit startup founded by Anirban, Jasmeet, Garima and Chandni, who met back when they were all Teach for India fellows, consulting each other about ways to improve quality of education in their classes. Through various conversations, they learned that a common theme across all their schools was the lack of sports. And this wasn't exclusive to just their schools, but most government schools in India. Once the common problem was identified, they decided to come together to try and solve it. They started by introducing games and tournaments in their individual classes, and when these micro projects were successful, they knew they could expand sports and education as a curriculum for all schools. And KKM was born.
Using sports as a medium to address multiple aspects. First is the holistic growth of a child. So holistic growth means social, emotional, mental and physical growth. So it's all around growth. And through this experience also sensitizing and raising awareness about different issues and life skills like leadership, teamwork.
Although they are united in their cause now, these four co-founders came from very different backgrounds. 31-year-old Anirban studied engineering and spent 7 years working with L&T and Tata Motors before giving it all up to make a difference in education. Delhi-based Jasmeet, 38, and Garima, 28, who studied business and chartered accountancy respectively, worked corporate jobs in their fields for many years before switching to improving the quality of education in India, while 25-year-old Chandni was the only one who started her career in education itself. Their model is currently present in 80 such schools across Delhi NCR, where sports and athletics are largely neglected and often considered a distraction from day-to-day schoolwork.
We want to take this sports bit to the grassroots. And by grassroots we mean where there is lack of resources and access. And also there is an affordability issue. So all of these three often hinders the talent to come up on a sporting aspect, and also the school level, it is often being deprioritized to an extent because of studies.
Anirban, who hails from West Bengal, found that the challenge wasn't just getting schools to take sports seriously, but also parents. Several parents of both boys and girls often discourage organized athletics as it takes time away from studying, and KKM is attempting to change this mindset. Going one step further, while sports often ends up being gendered, KKM has ensured that their gender ratio meets and even exceeds parity.
In Khel Khel League, 60% are girls. So even when we started, we initially tried to do mixed gender teams.
Apart from keeping the gender ratio more than equal, KKM's curriculum is unique in other ways as well. For instance, The KKM League has the concept of an opponent point, where your competitor evaluates you so children can learn the importance of perspectives as well as self-improvement. Anirban and his team's final objective is not just to intervene and improve the quality of sports themselves, but to also self-empower the schools to run sports and athletics independently.
We see ourselves as someone who steps in to create that sustainability and not being as an outsourced entity. There's a lot of things which are in place. It just need to come together. The government schools have wonderful play spaces. They have the resources. There are PE teachers in most of the schools. So it's just all need to come together.
The facilities in government schools that Anirban speaks of in urban cities end up being confined to small play areas within the school or neighboring public open areas. Under the RTE Act 2009, it was compulsory for all government schools to have a playground. However, this was amended in 2012 as the HRD ministry recognized the space constraints in urban cities. According to the National Council for Education Research and Training, only 39% of primary public schools in India have playgrounds for children. Khel Khel Mein is working around this lack of facilities to not let them be a roadblock. Khel Khel Mein is currently present in 80 schools in Delhi NCR and hopes to expand to other cities in India in the future. It's time for a short break now, and when we're back, we'll hear from one of the experts in the field of education on entrepreneurship in this space. Stay tuned.